Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, myself and Ignorant Behavior, all the way to the right of your screen, are absolutely elated to be joined by none other than the FightersRep light middleweight champion, Milshon, marvelous Milshon Lathan. Champ, how are you doing?
What's going on, guys? What's going on? I'm doing great. I'm doing marvelous.
Ain't nothing much.
Hey, you're looking marvelous, man. You're looking happy. You're looking relaxed. We had to get you on here, man, after that incredible performance.
Try again.
It's been two incredible back-to-back performances for you at FightersRep, But before we get into it, man, how's life? How are you feeling? How's everything?
Good. Life's good, man. Same old. Back to work. Back to work. I'm a workaholic, so it doesn't take me. I like to call it fake rest. When I'm in the gym working.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fake
Hey,
rest.
do you make him around the gym call you champ?
So what?
I say, do you make him around the gym call you champ?
I mean, they've been calling me champ for a while now, so giving them
A little humble brag.
Just giving them the validation. That's all.
He earned it. So Milshon, man, it was an odd little lead up to FightersRep 22 for you, right? I mean, you were scheduled to fight Rudy Cuevas. He pulled out, I want to say, a couple weeks or just under before he pulled out with an injury or whatever it was. And then Dylan Ludwig, a guy who's very tough, usually fights a weight class above, a couple weight classes above sometimes, stepped in and wanted that title shot. And, we thought he earned it because he's had a really good career so far at FightersRep. He's a very tough guy. Kind of what was your mentality leading up to the fight? Because it wasn't your typical lead up. I mean, again, last minute change of opponents and a very different opponent at that.
Yeah, so it's becoming my typical lead up to the fight. These guys, it seems like most of my fights, these guys are pulling out. I hit the original opponent I was booked. In any of these fights, so it's becoming typical. But no, all jokes aside, it was kind of a clash of styles between Rudy and Dylan. Rudy was kind of that cleaner, kind of clean cut technical kickboxer, kind of like myself. And then switching over to Dylan, kind of just that mean, Butcher is a good nickname because he wants to cut inside and kind of crowd you, press you. So yeah, it was an adjustment, but nothing I couldn't handle. It was more so just making sure I'm doing what I need to be doing to get the win. And I'm not really focused on any of these other guys. It's more so just controlling what I can control and worrying about that and that only.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, let me ask you something though. Do you think it would have, because you said one guy is more technical, more of a boxer, the other one is more trying to get out, be the butcher, try to get in. Do you think it would have been a longer fight or a harder fight? No disrespect, but if you did fight Rudy, was Rudy was going to fight first, right?
Yeah.
If you would have, if you fought Rudy instead, do you think it would have been more challenging to you?
I wouldn't say challenging. It definitely would have been more. Would have been more like a chess match rather than like Dylan just straight out running up to me and do it immediately. Like the game plan was to kind of take it slow this round, this fight in general. No matter the opponent, just because 26-second knockout my last fight. So my coach Johnny was really emphasizing ring time and just getting experience and just just really feeling the fight out and just feeling the whole thing. But Dylan had other plans, so he kind of rushed my game plan and rushed my thought process going into that fight. But I don't think it would have been necessarily more challenging. It was just more different clash of styles. Styles make fights, and I think Rudy would have been it kind of would have been more of a just technical, kind of slower pace, kind of pick them apart type fight rather than like a oohs and ahs and fast pace and crowd.
The live by the
friendly fight.
A live by the sword, die by the sword kind of fight.
He died by it.
Kill or be killed. One of us is going. So that's usually the style I fight anyway. So definitely an interesting game plan by their gym. I've been in wars. I've been I mean, their information's out there. I've been in the wars. I've been, scrapping. So, I don't know. I think they just thought, if you press me, you can get me out of my. But yeah.
So what I'm gonna say is, tell Coach that your right hand says it gets paid by salary, not by the hour. It get the job done as fast as it can.
Yeah, tell you, but we don't get paid by the hour in this game. It's about getting them out of there. So the game plan's the same in every opponent. Whether they pull out or not, whoop that ass. That's the game plan.
We're gonna 1099 that right hand at the end of the year. So just everybody in here, we got Slide Tendencies. He says, "Let's go, champ." We got Isaac Lawrence saying, "Loving the new nickname, marvelous." I do need to credit you on that,
yes,
Milshon. We'll get into that a little bit too. I love that nickname. And then we've got Roderick Black Fury Anthony saying that right hand is scary. Absolutely, guys. If there's any comments or questions you want to ask the champ, drop them in the live chat. And if you have, if you're feeling generous, you want to sponsor the champ, or you want to drop a super chat, as usual, man, we're going to split it half the profit with the champ. So if you're feeling generous, help us grow, help the champ grow. That's definitely something we do here.
Right.
But yeah, let's I kind of Gary messed this all up for me because I want to talk about the game plan, and now I want to talk about the nickname too. That's your fault, Isaac. But let's start with the game plan, right? You mentioned the game plan for Dylan Ludwig. What I want to talk about with that is, I think that's just Dylan Ludwig's style. He's that EYR division, Coach Rage. They're just trying to get you out of there. It's one bell, right? They're just trying to get you out of there right away. Now, I don't think, though, that Dylan's a brawler. I think he's very intelligent, but hyper aggressive, But you seem to adapt. I mean, you had a war in the past with Michael Sanchez. You went to war. You were on the front foot against Michael Claycomb and just got him out of there right away. And this time, you wanted to take it easy. You said the guy brought the fire to your house and you ended up burning his house down.
I had to put him out.
So talk to me about, what seems to be a higher level ability to adapt, depending on a championship ability, a champion ability to adapt, depending on the opponent. I got to give you credit for that.
Yeah, I think it's a testament to my coaches and what we're learning at HP Fight Club. I would relate it to somebody like Tank. I was watching this interview with Andre Ward, and he was saying that Tank had underrated skills. And that's an interesting way to put it, because you're going to find out that I have the skill to adjust to whatever you bring me in the ring. And by that time, it's too late. So for this particular fight, like I said, we wanted to slow cook him. We wanted to get some ring time in. And he kind of rushed my process. And I was like, okay, if this is the fight you want to bring, I'm comfortable here, so we can do that,
But knowing Dylan, did you think you could slow the pace against his typical style? Is that what happened?
The jab, was going to slow down everything. He did a great job. I think him and his team did a great job studying me. And the first jab I threw, he kind of came over the top with it and used that to kind of press forward. But I am always going to get my space in there. And so, as he's pressing me, I'm kind of just pushing him off with my punches. Not even punching, but kind of just getting that space so I can line.
I noticed that.
And that was something we worked on, after, Rudy pulled out, and kind of more Dylan specific things. But yeah, it was more so just control his posture. And once I did smack him, I did kind of get excited and kind of out of the game plan, and my coaches are just yelling, "Calm down," and I'm like, okay, let me chill. Let me back off real quick.
Yeah.
But no, I like that type of fight. I like that. I don't shy away from, anything, let alone a firefight. So, it was comforting for me.
Wow.
I see you. Are you going to say something, George?
No. Okay. We're taking turns. You're next. You're next, brother.
No. I hear you talking about Tank and everything. How people say, "Oh, he has," how Andre Ward was sitting there saying that he actually has actual skill, but it gets overshadowed by his power, basically, because most people look at the power. And I've been on record. I said I think out of everybody I've seen, I think Gator. And the only reason, and then he said Milshon. I said, "Oh yeah, Milshon's a beast too." Only reason is like I don't know everything that Milshon's got.
Exactly.
Like you were just saying, because he doesn't get a chance to show all of his things. And like you just said, I got more. I just have to get the opportunity to present it. Is that frustrating to you? Like I'm not just a power guy?
It is a little bit because everybody thinks I'm just like an athlete and like I have fighter IQ. I don't have but like that's just something you're gonna figure out over time. Like I'm a student of the game, man. I watch all the mixed martial arts. I'm a student of the game. I watch boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, MMA. I'm watching everything. I'm learning, and I'm not just watching as a fan. I'm watching as a coach and trying to put myself in that fighter's shoes. And I'm usually watching the losing fighter to see what he can kind of do, kind of like putting myself in positions. But no, it's just I have underrated skills. I have underrated IQ, and like I said in the post fight, if you sleep on me, the doctor's just gonna wake you up. So you're gonna
I like that. Put it on the shirt.
Yeah, you're either gonna underestimate me or like you're gonna come correct and respect me as a fighter. So it's on you.
Really. Yeah. I think what happened, Milshon, I was thinking about this, right? I go on these walks and sometimes I call Gary and we just brainstorm about stuff and it's crazy. I just, it's kind of how it's therapeutic for me, And so I was thinking about this today. I was like, man, Milshon had this war with Michael Sanchez, right? And, I look at that Milshon and I look at the one I've seen in the last two fights, and it's just like, it's like 10x, bro. It's like 10x, and I think what was the catalyst for that advancement, and what's going through my mind, and you can tell me if you agree with it or not. What's going through my mind is, man, you had that surgery, you're probably at the prime of your life. And you have that surgery, not even the prime of your life yet, you had that surgery and you probably just thought to yourself, man, like I might not ever be able to do, me anymore. I might lose my identity as an athlete and as a fighter. And I feel like maybe that really ignited something special deep down. Sometimes people, they need an experience like that, as cliche as it sounds, to kind of bring the best out in them, tell me how you feel about that, because I don't know. I just kept thinking maybe that was the catalyst to this Super Saiyan level Milshon that we're seeing now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. It definitely has a factor.
Because look, in the Ty Brown fight, in the Michael Sanchez fight, I mean, you look good, but you went to war against these guys. It was blood and guts. You were able to get to win, but it was a close fight. And then your last two fights have just been a wash, you know, and I don't think the opponents have been lesser.
Yeah, no, definitely. That was a trying time for me, that was pretty much rock bottom. And what I learned from that is just to be grateful for, being able to move and being able to work. And that was the main thing, I think, with like what I'm doing right now is like, I'm just loving the work and loving the grind and just immersing myself as much as I can every day, day by day. Like I'm not worried about tomorrow or yesterday. I'm worried about just being like the best me today. And I attack the workouts, man. I don't just like get in there and just like train or just like try to get through it. Like I literally attack all the workouts, weightlifting, conditioning, technique. And I just like we kind of touched on in the earlier question. I haven't been able to show everything yet, but I will. And I'm excited to kind of give you guys the rest of my game. But no, it's just loving the work, man, loving the grind and not running from any hardships. I like to run to the hardships and kind of grow through those rather than just get through them. So you go through what you go through. You grow through what you go through. So I think that's the kind of what I would kind of say about it.
Hey, my opinion is You can get him out of there fast, get him out of there. Who cares if everybody sees you? I know you want to, but who cares? A win is a win, especially a win like that is get your name around like that. And
taste, you know. So if I can just get if I don't need anything more than 1-2, then you know.
Yeah. Hey, I work in construction. If we don't need to go in the tool bag for everything, the hammer gonna fix it. Then let's hit it with the hammer.
Exactly. I work in construction. I know it's time.
Hey, but I got a question and I got an idea for you, right?
Yes, sir.
So that phrase you just said, if you sleep on me, the doctor wake you up, or whatever you say that needs to be on the shirt. Also, another shirt would be by the hour. That's it. I don't get paid by the hour. There you go. I don't get paid by the hour.
I put a clock on that thing.
But the question is, you know, my compadre here, George, he had made a post on social media saying like, hey, fighters, after watching, you know, Ngannou fight Joshua, and he was basically sitting there saying like, hey, man, get your hands up because like it's important. And you watch Sean O'Malley Sugar Show, and his hands are on point. Crazy. So I mean, like you said, you have other things, but that right hand of yours and your boxing skills is one of the things. Do you work on that to make sure you have elite hands? Yeah.
Well, that's my coach, Johnny Mercurio, HP Fight Club. Like he's the fucking gem. I'm telling you. He taught me how to throw. Like I came to him and I didn't know how to throw anything. So what you see now is literally just him, like, and him teaching me from literally ground zero. So we do a lot of boxing. I know my boxing's tight. And we worked out a lot. We worked out a ton. And you're gonna see with my teammates that are coming down the pipeline, they all got clean boxing. But that's I know my boxing separates me, and it's funny because I did see that, and I did see that post and that note, and I was like I'm not one of those guys that needs to work on it. You know, they got to figure that out. They got to go to, you know, they got to get in the gym at Brick House or some shit. But that's I'm happy that that's a strong suit in my game, and I'm happy that, you know, I took the time when I first started to kind of learn the art and learn the sweet science, and just, you know, so now that I'm here in the position I'm in, it's paying dividends. So yeah, for sure, it's definitely something I work on.
I'm glad you bring that up. I'm glad you bring that up, Gary, because I mean, I'm doubling down on that, man. If these guys don't get their boxing at a high level in kickboxing, where the freaking word is in the name of the sport, it's kickboxing. It's boxing with some kicks and knees.
Exactly,
bro. If you don't have your hands right in this sport, and you go up against a guy like Milshon or a guy like Granado, or you know, another guy I was impressed with, you know, and the death dealer, but there was a kid on the back of the card, Anthony Castaneda, man, who came out there, and I don't think he might have not thrown more than a kick or two. His hands were just, you know, hands were just crisp, and that got him through the fight and got him the stoppage. I really think it's very important. It might be the most important skill, you know, in this kickboxing sport, is getting those hands right. I mean, of course, you need to learn how to throw kicks as well. Yeah, but man, it's very important.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, even though it's kickboxing, and like you would kind of subset it as like one martial art, like, you know, you still need to kind of work your kicks and your boxing, and kind of have that balance, and give both the time they need, for sure.
Yeah, and Isaac Lawrence is in here. Shout out to Isaac, man. He says Milshon is hands down one of the most athletic athletes I've ever seen train live. It's scary to think what Milshon is going to look like in a couple of years.
My boy Isaac, the best in the game.
I agree. And we've got Kavon Scott saying GOAT. And then we've got Roderick Andrews saying the check hooks mid-fight versus Ludwig were crazy. My boy is technical. Yeah.
It's funny. There's this one clip where Dylan kind of reaches for my body, and I kind of like, I'm backing up, and I just like, boop. I think I was like, yeah, like that. I think that's my favorite moment of the fight, honestly. Like, not even the knee or the multiple right hands I landed. I think that just that little like.
Wow. Okay. I was thinking maybe it was that right hand that started it all for me. You know.
Well, I land so many rights. It's kind of just it's what
I don't know which right did it.
Yeah. No, like it's. I know it's my moneymaker. I know it's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Feel it, you know. So
Mhm.
yeah.
You got something, George?
No, I'm
Oh no,
waiting
I
on
was
you.
gonna say because you know the right hand is your moneymaker. You know, eventually people, the whole game plan is gonna be centered around the right hand against you.
Yep.
Are you working on things to set up counters and things like that for it that they don't see that's coming?
And I think that's the good thing about, you know, the performances I've been having. You know, I've been striking fear in just everybody. And when they game plan for me, they have to game plan for the athleticism. And I know that. And I'm not a fucking idiot. So I'm like, of course I'm working on the kicks. Of course I'm working on the things that counter, you know, what you're about to counter. And for me, it's mainly like, okay, let me see if you can get past plan A.
Mm-hmm.
Get past plan A, here's B. Okay, you got past B somehow. Whoa. Now let's really dissect and put the pieces together, put the puzzle pieces together. So that's something I have been able to show. I have shown an ability to adapt, but no, I'm working on everything, man. And I know, I know people are coming. I know, that my toughest fights are ahead of me, and I'm working towards that. So yeah, I know when they get comfortable with this right hand, I'm gonna just hit them with the Leon. So it's cool.
Let me ask you, Milshon. So for me, I mean, it was pretty clear how the fight ended. It was, relatively short. Another performance, again, big up to you, man. Another performance where you get a very tough opponent out of there within a round, which is just madness at FightersRep, I think. You threw that right hand, man. I mean, we could hear that right hand land, bro, like across the stadium. Like I'm sitting there ringside. Even when you watch it on the video, you could hear
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
thwack. It's like pa, that thing landed hard. But then that flying knee to the body, man. I mean, was that premeditated? Is that something you just improv? Tell me about that flying knee to the body, because that was the finish. That was the nail in the coffin.
Mhm. Yeah, so that's definitely a big staple in my game. I would go back to the Ty Brown fight where I kind of hit him with that knee.
That's right.
As he was dipping down, which was legally illegal, but it's fine. But no, that's a big part of my game, and that's something I knew he was just from my coaches watching, and I'm watching. I knew that like his body was kind of suspect, and I know that he was kind of weak there. Like I touched on earlier, my plan was to slow cook him, so I was kind of thinking, jabs down there, get him thinking high low, body kicks, really just show my full arsenal. But after I landed the first right, and I rushed him, and then we kind of got in that like 50-50, like both threw a right, and watching back, I'm like, what are you doing, idiot? And then I knew after I hit him the second time, I was like, okay, don't do that again. Don't charge him and just like set it up, or like let's see what he gives you. And he kind of, after I hit him with the right, it was a tough right because my elbow was like, it was a full, like I knew it was a good shot. And then when he's stumbling back, he kind of hits the ropes, and it kind of just clicked in my head, like throw the knee. He's probably thinking I'm about to come up again and throw the right, throw the cross and headhunt. So throw the knee. And it kind of worked out. Like he kind of slingshotted into it. It was a perfect knee. I felt it. I felt the point. I felt it at the point. I felt everything. So that whole sequence where I hit him with the 1-2, and then I fake teep, and he goes low for the leg kick, and then I hit him with a big right, and then I hit him with the knee. That was kind of it was kind of just three good guesses, and it was just perfect, and it just boom, boom, boom lined up, and he's out of there. So yeah, it was definitely premeditated. It wasn't premeditated, but it was definitely planned, and it was definitely put together by me.
Brilliant improv.
I mean, putting somebody out with a knee is a beautiful thing. I mean, I thought Sean O'Malley was gonna put Vera out with a knee, but he has a chin. We talked about his chin before.
I mean, definitely got 2 broken orbitals. So hey, being tough is cool, but hey,
Jeez, man.
Hey, Hey, I always say in fight game, I don't want to prove I have a tough chin. I want you to think I have one the whole time. I don't want to have to prove it.
when the commentators are always like, "Oh, this guy's tough," it usually means he's getting his ass beat. Like so. But that was a good performance. Like Sean kind of just had a coming to performance, like to do Tito like that.
Yeah.
That was impressive for sure.
So what's your favorite way, or that maybe you haven't done, or you have done to get a stoppage, get somebody out of there?
Yeah, I mean, ever since I got to 160, it's been stoppage after stoppage. So I like that weight. I think my future's at 55 though, but anywhere from 55, 60, 65, maybe even 70, anywhere in there, honestly, is cool for me. And I think too, my earlier fights in Fighters Rep, fighting at 155, like the Sanchez fight, I think it's deceptive when you watch that because it's like middle of August, I'm cutting the 155, he's bringing the pressure, study what you want. But no, I feel really good at 160, but I think 55 is where I'm gonna really make noise.
For sure. Well, Knuckleheads, at this time, thank you for joining us. I'm going to ask you guys, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Join the channel to help us continue to grow. And you can get your tickets to Fighters Rep 23 and 24, June 1st in Florida, June 8th in California at FightersRep.com next week on March 20th. Those tickets go on sale, so be sure to tune into those. And definitely give the champ a follow on Instagram at Kid Mills.
Marvelous.
This guy's a star, so give him a follow. And if you want to sponsor him, reach out to him. Or you could reach out to me. I'm happy to facilitate it. This kid deserves it. So, anyone that wants to put their logo on his trunks or his shirts and pay the kid some money to get through his camp, this is not easy work that he does. Feel free to do that and show some generosity.
Hurry up. Run out of space on the shorts. So bricks going up. The price of the bricks going up.
Milshon, we mentioned, Gary mentioned Gator. He mentioned, and then, we brought you up as well. Some really great performances at the last Fighters Rep. We've got the Death Dealer. Another kid that I think, is probably also one of the most talented is Hamza Trod, who's probably going to be turning pro soon.
Definitely.
But I want to, I'd like to hear from you. Who do you like? Who did you like watching that evening besides yourself? Is there anyone at Fighters Rep that kind of catches your eye?
That Hamza performance is pretty crazy. That was pretty nuts. That's pretty nuts. Gotta shout out Precious. She had a great debut against a tough opponent who, she kind of just confused with the footwork and the head movement and stuff. So that was a great performance as well. Shout out P Money. Shout out the Pistol. David Marquez, tough. To kind of have a performance like that in the rematch, that was tough. That was a really good performance. Who else do I like? I gotta give a shout out to the Gators opponent. That dude was a fucking oh my god, talk about being tough, like bruh. Oh my god, like
he was
shots, like oh my god. I had to stick around for that fight, and even in the back after, he was like, I said good job. He was like, thanks, bro. Like still had energy. You're insane, bro. You're insane, dog. And it's funny because he just didn't. He just you judge a book by its cover sometimes, right? And then you just comes out like, wow, like
I knew it was gonna be tough. All those kids out of that camp in Vegas.
Vegas, right? Yeah.
They're just very hungry. The kids out of that Paradox boxing gym. It's Johnny Parsons' team. He's a good striker. He fights in the UFC and stuff. And he's raised some pretty good kids. Free Smoke, Isaac McCary's also in that camp. So there's some tough kids there for sure.
Yeah, I heard he wants Nathan Hawthorne. That'll be interesting.
He does. But for me, we gotta keep this thing 100% objective and fair. Nathan Hawthorne's in line for a title, in my opinion.
Exactly.
So if I don't get that fight made, Hawthorne's got to fight for a title.
Exactly. Yeah, he deserves it for sure.
Yeah. Well, you didn't make fun of Gary's hat yet, so Gary, you're next.
Nothing to make fun of.
I don't got.
We
Yeah,
were undefeated.
I got no gripes against Florida State. They gave us. They gave my team the best safety in the league. So I'm not at Florida State.
Are you a Chargers?
Yeah, Derwin James. Yes, sir.
There we go.
Yes,
there we
sir.
go, baby.
and Monte Samuel Jr. He's tough too.
Yeah, see, there we go, George.
Yeah. Not mad.
All right. Milshon, man, two fantastic performances in a row is another question I wanted to ask you. You've had like one round of fight experience in the past, few years now.
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel like you need more? Do you feel like you wish you had a little bit more? Or are you okay? Are you getting enough between sparring and knocking people out one round?
Like I said, man, I push myself. I kill myself in the gym. So I don't necessarily feel like I'm missing out on anything or I wasted any time.
Mm-hmm.
I work on God's timing. So, whatever's meant for me will be, as long as I do what I need to do on earth and, just give him all the glory. But no, I'm working, man. I kill myself in the gym. Like I said, I got great training partners and I go with, Giga Chikadze, Benny, Marvin Vittori, like those guys at Kings. So yeah.
Must be nice having Johnny Mercurio as a coach and having the hookup with training partners like that.
I mean, it's a blessing for real. It's a blessing. He's a blessing. The gym's a blessing. So, but no, it's all in due time. I go and get the best work I can. I don't leave any stone unturned. So whenever I do get out there, you're gonna see a crazy performance every time. So yeah.
And it's my understanding as well that, it looks like you're taking the next FightersRep off. I mean, are you looking to relax a little bit after a pretty busy schedule here, taking 2 fights in a row or what's going on?
Oh yeah. Not necessarily relax. I'm still in the gym. I was in the gym the Monday after the fight. So just taking some time to get better. I've been kind of spearheading it for my team. I want my team to kind of get some opportunities to kind of show what they got, show, what the club has to offer. But no, we're working. We're always working. Yeah, I'm never lacking, man. I'm never lacking.
Yeah.
Well, it was something you said that like you said, you like 160, but you want to go down to 155. I mean, you're a pretty tall, rangy guy. How do you handle your diet throughout the time to make sure that you don't have to whole bunch of weight to cut?
Well, I had a little hiccup this time. But it's definitely a disciplined thing and a lot of avocados and eggs and turkey bacon. And it's just more so put in the work, like I said, not leaving any stone unturned. I do the triple days. I'm doing the double days, doing everything I need to do when I don't want to. So it's more so a discipline thing. And as long as I handle what I need to handle, like I know what I need to be doing. So as long as I, do what I need to be doing, it'll all work out. I mean, I put in the work. So
what's the food that's hardest to stay away from?
There's so many. I would probably say like hibachi type stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't really eat fast food in general. I guess I'd like Panda Express type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the kind of the trans fat, the bad good stuff, that's the stuff.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's a discipline thing. Even when I'm not right, kind of making sure I'm eating the right things, staying in shape, still getting my runs in. Yeah, that all plays a part into it, man. And it's an 8 to 12 week thing. It's not just a week. It's not just a night.
Yeah.
Like I see. So, I wish I could, give you more than 2 minutes in the last couple fights, but it's the work is done, in the weeks prior. So that's what I'm.
We're okay. I'm okay with those 2 minutes. Those were very entertaining 2 minutes.
Right.
What is your team saying about your resounding success, especially in these past 2 fights? I mean, what's the team got to say about you?
Keep going. You ain't shit yet. I'm not where I'm not where I need to be. It's a cool. It's don't get me wrong. It's cool. It's cool. I'm grateful to be out there and honestly, you know, come out unscathed the last 2 times. It's a blessing, you know, just to be able to keep working and keep learning on wins and having these great performances and still, you know, being able to grow through them. And yeah, they're just telling me to keep going and don't smell my own shit and make sure I'm fucking getting my ass beat.
For sure.
Yeah.
And what's the trajectory for you? I mean, I think I've asked you this before, but you know, the memory isn't what it used to be. You know, is it MMA? Is it kickboxing? Is it boxing? I mean, what is it we're looking to get into as you become more seasoned and then, you know, go off into the pros at some point?
I mean, so unfortunately, you know, the money is in the boring sport, MMA. At least in America.
For now.
For now. But I watch a lot of One Championship, so I'm not opposed to being a pro kickboxer, and kind of going over to Singapore and kind of doing that thing. But I want to get paid, and I want to have, you know, I know time on this earth is finite. You know, tomorrow's not promised. In general, so I want to make the most of my time and ultimately like create a legacy for myself. So
you want to be a multi-millionaire so you can buy an apartment in California.
Exactly, right? Like, it's the cost of living out here is fucking crazy. I can't get a fucking 1-bedroom half-bath shack for less than $500K. So we need to definitely start making some moves. I know some big things are ahead, but like I said, the confidence comes from preparation. So I'm just worried about the work and putting in the work every day, and I know everything else will take care of itself.
For sure. And as you grow, hopefully our promotion will continue to grow and give guys a viable option in the kickboxing world. You know what I mean? Because as you said, you know, it's very boring sometimes watching guys hug each other for 3 to 5 rounds straight.
Man, I'm telling you.
Well, here's the thing. Just because they want to be boring don't mean you have to be bored. You put on a show.
Hey, yeah, exactly.
And with that,
right, yeah. So I don't, you know, I can't be a sheep and just follow the crowd. You know, I gotta.
So, you know what that right hand? You know what that right hand? They're just gonna tackle your legs right when the bell rings.
Exactly. Yeah. And if 4-ounce gloves, 10-ounce gloves, 16, 12, it doesn't. The right hand's there. So it's kind of nice being able to like, no, you can't just grab my crotch when you're hurt. So no, I'm liking this kickboxing thing for sure.
Yeah. I'd be interested once you get to that level, and you know he's going to be a little older by then, but maybe it would be a fun crossover or crossroads fight at that time, since he'll be a bit older and you'll be coming into MMA at the time, perhaps. You versus Michael Venom Page. How fun would that be?
That'd be crazy. I mean, what he just did right now to my boy Kevin Holland.
Yeah.
Shout out IE, shout out to Riverside, you know. But no, he looked good. That was a great performance by him, and I think that was a great way to kind of show the world, had the casual fans that, like, you know, I'm not new, but you know,
yeah.
But I mean, shit, that's a dream fight for me. That'd be great. I would love that fight.
Who do you look up to in the mixed martial arts world?
Oof. I'd say Adesanya is the first. Israel. That's literally the guy who, like, I saw him at a time. I think he made his debut like maybe late 2017, 18 maybe. And when I saw him, I saw him make his debut, and like he had the anime like tattoos all over up, and I was like, and I watched a lot of anime, and you know,
me too.
I was like, yo, I was like, that's me. Like I literally saw that, and I started training like a week later, like during the pandemic, all of it. So
you know, it'd be really interesting if you go to MMA and hopefully you find success, because he kind of followed the same track as you, right? I mean, he started off as a kickboxer, really.
and that's what Johnny, when I first got into it, you know, he was like, we're probably gonna take the Izzy route, you know. So big fan of his. So that's no problem with me. But yeah, Izzy. I would say. Who do I look up to? Man, kind of just all like the technical guys who can strike. Fucking Haney. I like Haney a lot.
Oh yeah.
I like Michael, like you said, Michael Venom Page, Raymond Daniels.
Oh yeah, he's nice too.
Yeah, man, a lot of
He don't
guys.
get a lot. He don't get talked about a lot.
No, he
Ray
doesn't.
McDaniel, but he's nice.
OG, yeah, OG. Ty Winchai from One Championship. That's a guy that I watch a lot. Yeah, but everything. I watch everything. Anytime there's a fight on, I'm watching it, and I'm trying to just see what I can pick up from either guy in there. Those guys are where I want to be. So I just try to take every opportunity to be a sponge and learn from them.
Milshon, you mentioned, some great sparring. I mean, is there anyone you've gotten in there with where you were like, damn, I mean, this is crazy. It's like, is there anything that's really kind of impressed you or made a light bulb go off for you?
Giga Chikadze.
Yeah.
If you don't know who that is, he's number 7 at 145.
I know exactly who it is.
He is, bro. I'm telling you, like my first time ever going to Kings, ever sparring at Kings. They go crazy, like they kill each other in there, like it's wild. My first time ever going to Kings, Rafael Cordero was like pointing at everybody, and he points me to Giga. First round, 5-minute rounds. I've never done 5 minutes, like ever, at that time. So he points to Giga, and I'm like, me and him, like me, like I'm looking like me, like me. So we end up going right, and he's kind of just seen what I have. My boxing was still clean back then, so I'm jabbing him up a little. I hit him with a cross. I hit him with something. I forget what it was, but he kind of like his face changed. Like he was like, oh, like I'm not about to let you hit me anymore. Like, and after that, he just started going crazy, like flying knees, the Giga kick. He actually sprained his wrist on my head, landing a clean right. Like he landed a right and like sprained his wrist, like was actually like out.
I never drove it.
So yeah, that was one where I was like driving home, like, do I really want to do this? I didn't want to go. I didn't want to take a nap because I was like, I might not wake up. Like it was
wow.
That was one of those days where I was like, damn, like, all right, like I say I want to do this, but he's waiting. So
yeah,
I gotta really like ask myself. And yeah, I made it through. So I'm here now. So it worked out. But that's what I'm saying about, just getting the best training. And some of these guys just want to build their confidence up and like feel good and look good and get the videos. And I like to kind of be old school with it and kind of just die so I can thrive later.
Wow.
Kind of like One Punch Man, huh?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like super hard punch, super hard right hand, and just
Wow. Damn. I mean, he was trying to kill your ass in there.
Huh? Yeah. It was necessary, super necessary. It was a profound experience for me. It was like a core memory for me. Another Nikolai. He fought Morales at 170 on the Contender Series. But he ended up losing that fight to get in the Contender Series, to get into the UFC. He's another guy I go with a lot. And he just is a 185er, strong as hell, hits like a truck. So that's one guy where I try to go. I try to run to the fight. I try to run in so that when I get in there with, these guys, I'm like, oh, you're not Giga, you're not Nikolai, you're not,
Yeah.
So yeah, it gives me that comfortability so I can be like, all right, yeah, let's fight. Let's do it. We can do whatever. I'm ready. So
wow, man. Wow. Well, very impressive, champ. Gary, you got anything else for the champ here?
Hey, man, great interview. Milshon gave us all of it.
Thank you,
man. I know, yeah. Champ, and we really appreciate your time.
You said something too about how I got my nickname.
That's right.
I was hesitant because on my first FightersRep, on my first couple FightersReps, they were asking me, do I have a nickname? And I was like, no. And then after I knocked out Clay Holm, I was like, you know what? Like, and we have at the club we have a Hagler Hearns poster.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you've seen that fight, you're fucking
Marvin Hagler.
Yeah.
I like Marvelous. I like trying to live up to that, that name. So for me, it's good pressure. It's good. It's good.
And you know what's funny that you looked at that poster and you picked Marvelous Marvin Hagler instead of the Hitman.
Yeah,
Is it more like the Hitman?
exactly right? But I think my style is more like Hagler. Is more like Marvin Hagler. So I haven't showed it yet, but I mean, you guys know I'm always down for a war. So
yeah,
that's where that comes from. That's what it's really just inside,
I like that. And I think it rolls off the tongue better because, it's the alliteration, Marvelous Milshon. You know what I mean? It's the 2 M's. So I love it. Champ, man, thank you so much for your time this evening.
Thank you.
We're just so proud of your performances and how you've done so far and watching you grow so much in the past couple years. And it's been a real pleasure to promote you. You don't give anyone a headache. You come, you do what you're supposed to do. You market yourself, you continue to work on yourself, and you make our job very easy. So I want to tell you, I really appreciate that. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Is there anyone you want to thank? Is there anything you want to say? The floor is 100% yours.
Man, just shout out my coach, Johnny Mercurio. Shout out my trainer, Eric Ocho Fitness. Shout out to my teammates. And shout out to you. Thank you for giving me the platform. Always grateful to be, come on here and chop it up with you guys, and just thank you for, letting me come out and show what I'm made of,
Man, amazing performances. 2 fighters reps in a row, getting people out of there in less than 1 round. Marvelous Milshon Lathan, ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, please subscribe. Thank you all for your time. Thank you, champ. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, Gary.
Guys.
Appreciate you, man. Anytime you want to shoot the shit, anytime.
Hey, I want